Kyle is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the two witnesses for being here with us today. I want to just direct my questions to Director Thompson. And Director Thompson, one of the biases that I have, and I think it's hopefully a bias shared by everybody who serves in this body, is that we shouldn't be discriminating in our country based on race. We should treat people based on their individual characteristics and not dole out government benefits, favors, or consequences because people have the wrong skin color. And I assume that you share that conviction as well. And so I want to point directly to a particular policy of your directorship. So a September 21 announcement followed by an August 2023 proposed rule requiring Fannie and Freddie to, among other things, advance equity in housing finance. And in particular, the way that Fannie has applied this particular directive worries me. So there's a Fannie Mae plan, as I understand it, that is strictly targeted at Black and Brown Americans, that explicitly is targeted at Black and Brown Americans. Again, I don't think we should be doling out housing favors based on skin color. But I'm curious, one, am I right about that? Does the Fannie Mae plan specifically target Black and Brown Americans? And second, does that program have any income requirements?
So thank you for the question. And one, I want to assure you that everything that FHFA and our regulated entities do complies with the law. We have under the Fair Housing Act the responsibility to ensure that there's fair housing access for everyone. When you talk about the affordability issue, which is the biggest issue that our country has today, it didn't miss any communities. And there are particular communities that are underserved, and there are huge housing gaps. And we have asked Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to come up with plans, not just for underserved communities, and you're specifically talking about the equitable housing finance plans, but rural communities, tribal communities, Native American communities, because we want to make sure that no one's left behind. We can't let the housing market fail, and there's no one size fits all. I would say that many of the barriers that have been identified in some of the plans, especially in the Fannie and Freddie plans for Black and Brown borrowers, apply to other cultures as well, and it applies across our nation. I'll give you an example. One of the things that came out of
So Director, just because I'm limited on time, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to sort of, just to specify this a little bit. So as I understand, there's a down payment assistance slush fund that Fannie Mae has applied as part of this particular equitable housing finance plan. My understanding is that Black and Brown Americans are eligible for this down payment assistance, but it's not income-based.
Well, our programs are not race-based. The programs that are in the special purpose credit programs is what I think you're referring to. They're location-based, and those are the programs that Fannie and Freddie offer. They do purchase loans from other institutions.
So there is not. This actually makes me feel good if I'm misunderstanding this. So there is not a Fannie Mae down payment assistance program that you can only apply for if you are Black or Brown.
There are down payment assistance programs that apply to many Fannie Mae programs, a Home Ready program.
But is there one that discriminates based on race?
No,
you can only apply if you have a specific racial category.
For the enterprise-based special purpose credit programs, you can apply for those programs if you live in a certain area. I think it's location-based. It's not race-based.
But is there any income requirement on that?
I'm not sure. I'd have to get back to you on that.
I appreciate that because being mindful of my time here, the thing that I guess I find somewhat troubling about this stuff is I certainly agree that there are a lot of Black and Brown Americans who've been left behind by the housing market, and we want to sort of guarantee access to the housing market for everybody. But you can accomplish these things very often by targeting at a particular income category. And of course, you're going to catch up a lot of Black and Brown Americans. You're also going to catch up a lot of Americans from other racial categories who maybe don't have high income. And it strikes me as a much better way, and also a much less illegal way, to do housing assistance in our country. And targeting it particular racial groups is just not something I think we should be doing.
Well, first I want to say that we're not doing anything illegal, and we do have.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and
I appreciate that.
Would not do that. But we think that, these housing programs should be available for everyone. We have them. We have programs based on income. We've had them for years, and we do have these programs that are based on location that the enterprises are promulgating.
All right. Thank you, Director Thompson.
Sure.
Thanks, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Director.